Hello everyone and welcome to another live from the workshop, and today I'm going to be making another Fourth Doctor, but this is going to be the Fourth Doctor as he appeared without his coat and scarf in I believe the start of the Hand of Fear, but also in the Deadly Assassin. So for this I have a Fourth Doctor figure, of which I have taken off the arms, trimmed down the arms, and also sculpted on the back of the waistcoat and sculpted on some new front pieces, which I'm going to have to fill in. And then the arms, which I'm just going to glue in rather than fix in so they move. As many of you will know, I'm not usually bothered by articulation on my figures. So once I've glued those in, it's basically just going to be a case of repainting those to match the shirt bits underneath. And then these arms are basically from a Professor Yana, or possibly a regenerated John Sim master figure. I know one has the cuffs attached to the hands and one doesn't. Either way, that's used off those, and then obviously Fourth Doctor head and everything. But the first things first is going to be just to start work on the waistcoat and repainting the waistcoat as it would be so it matches up. So let's start with that. So here is the finished coatless Fourth Doctor from the Deadly Assassin. Now, as I put at the start of the video, or at the time of recording, as I'm going to put at the start of the video, everything you have just seen was recorded way back in 2018, before I'd actually moved twice since recording that. So hence why the desk setup looks a little bit different. And since then, as you can see, I've made a few small changes to this figure. Most notably, the head sculpt and the hands I have updated from a B&M regenerated Fourth Doctor. I actually just prefer this head sculpt. I think it looks better, it looks a bit more unique, so I decided to add that on there just to make him look a little bit different. And the other thing which I have done, which I can't show you while it's spinning, but rather than just gluing the arms into place as I originally planned to do, I have used the screw trick to replace the snapped off pins. For those who don't know what the screw trick is, go and check out my how to do series. I've done one on that. It basically is just a case of using small screws to replace any missing or broken pegs. It works really well. Obviously the articulation is a little bit loose in places, but it does mean that you can have the arm in there and it is still articulated. But overall, yeah, I'm very pleased with the final result of this one. It's a nice, simple variant. You know, and I know this is one that it's always good to have a nice coatless Doctor variant. There's a few of them out there. Some of them interest me, some of them don't. But this is one of those ones that, you know, I just had the parts spare, so I figured why not, you know. And I've done a couple of other Fourth Doctors which are sort of a bit more unique, which I'm planning on putting out in the future as well. Hopefully planning on putting them out a bit quicker than I did this one. As I said, it's taken me several years to get this one out. But yeah, it's a really nice simple variant, great one to do, really good one to do if you've got, you know, parts hanging around spare and things like that. You know, the sculpting's very easy, really just doing the back of the waistcoat and, you know, the holes in the front, the arms. You know, obviously I've used the screw trick for the pegs, but they fit in really well, and it really does look the part. And this is one of those ones that I think it would be nice to see this as a released variant. And you know, I'm saying that full in the knowledge that, you know, we've got there's going to be definite restrictions to doing this, which means we're highly unlikely to ever see it. You know, you'd have to do the waistcoat as an entirely full wrap. You'd have to do new arms, or at least new shoulder joints that would fit into the existing Fourth Doctor body, that the Yana arms could then be fixed onto. You know, it wouldn't be without its challenges. But, you know, if we ever get to the point where, you know, there's a bit more budget to be able to put back into the figures, I personally would love to see these sorts of variants, just because, you know, in the past, when you look at some of the previous things we got, especially in the early days, you know, like the destroyed Cassandra, or the many Laszlos and Pig Slaves, and it's just kind of like, they're decent figures, don't get me wrong. Well, they're good for spares, I'll say that. But, you know, there's so many other things that you look at that and think, rather than releasing every single character under the sun from a particular series, go back and do some really obscure stuff like this, because at the end of the day, the Doctor sells, and I think this would sell and people would love it, you know. So it's yeah, it's one that I just thought, you know, finally time to put it out there. But it's a really nice variant, nice, good one to do if you like a challenge, or you're new to customs and you want to challenge yourself. But that brings to a close another live from the workshop. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. And be sure to description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.